Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since we're having full disclosure by the trustees, both Mr. Representative Kinsey and James, I will fully disclose that my daughter is a junior at Slippery Rock, and she has provided me with a lovely T-shirt that says "The good, the bad, the ugly." The good being Slippery Rock, the bad being Clarion, and the ugly
We have that
being,
same T-shirt at Clarion.
and the ugly being IUP. So I was wondering, Mr. Swat, what does your T-shirt say?
Something along the lines of Slimy Pebble, and reminding that we also won the homecoming football game as well. So.
Did you really? Very good. Where are you from, Mr. Swat?
I'm originally from the Scranton area.
Scranton, and you went all the way to IUP?
Yes, yeah.
How did you end up there?
So a little bit of background of myself. I'm a self-financed student, so affordability was at the forefront of my decision-making process, and I was looking for schools that provided a high-quality education, and opportunities within the institution that I could take advantage of was also very important, but the price was the biggest issue right there.
So
my cousin went there, and she recommended it, and I fell in love with the campus.
wonderful. And if you had to make a list of IUP, the good, bad, and ugly, what would that be? Not other schools, but at IUP.
I think the opportunities that are there, present for any student, are absolutely invaluable. I would not be where I'm at today without the opportunities that I've had, but also just because of the mentors I've had. And every member of that university is willing to help you. As far as the bad, the precipitation. IUP actually stands for it usually precipitates. But as far as the school, I wouldn't have any specific briefs at the moment. I really enjoy my time at the university.
And when you were deciding on IUP, what other schools were you looking at?
I was looking at Penn State. The attractive words there was the biggest alumni base, but you know, if you compare that to the alumni base for the state system, there's over 750,000 state system alumni, so that's something pretty unique as well. But I was looking at Westchester as another state system school. Like I said, I fell in love with IUP when I visited the campus.
And I can understand that, and I know what my daughter's situation was, and she just fell in love with Slippery Rock. With that being said about the schools competing and competing for students like yourself, I did want to ask Dr. Whitney, the Strategic System Review had made a point about a threat to our state system schools is the competition itself. I believe the wording was unhealthy competition among our institutions where collaboration would better serve students and the state. Can you give us some input on how you're addressing that? Not only competition between the state system schools, but the state system and state-related schools, where it seems like now they're more in direct competition with their satellite schools than they were in the past. Because I know my daughter's choices were between like a satellite school, Penn State, and Slippery Rock.
I can tell you, I took that language to mean we had created a mindset of unhealthy, or what I would even call ruthless competition, when actually we should be looking at leveraging and collaborating. I mean, Pennsylvania has an interesting history of having an abundance of private and public and institutions in this state. But the mindset that competition, many people think, oh, competition's good. There's a downside, that it keeps people holding secrets, it keeps a distance. I mean, we are not a for-profit retailer. We are the state's system of higher learning. So we are about collaboration and engagement and leveraging our resources, the students as well as the states. And that's what I took that to mean, is that we'd gotten to an unhealthy part. And that's why, for example, the presidents have been very kind. We're meeting more now than ever. We're talking about best practices. We're talking about strengths. We're looking at each other's academic programs. And we're asking ourselves the questions, where's the unmet demand here? We're looking at labor force data. We're looking at the 170,000 jobs that are projected to be open in this state in the next couple of years, and how do we present credentials that fulfill those kinds of demands? And we're doing it in a collaborative way, not in you're a winner and you're a loser.
And if you would, who would you think you are competing with? Are you competing with our state-related schools? Are you competing with our satellite schools? Because understand, we fund them as well.
I have to tell you, and I hope you'll find this a satisfactory answer, we're competing not with the 139. We're competing against poverty. We're competing against domestic violence, opioid abuse. We're competing with communities that are so undereducated, particularly in the rural communities here, that we still have women, kids who grow up in families where their parents don't want them to go to college. That's what we're competing against. That's our competition, because we are not at the forefront in this country of college-educated citizens. We're pretty much in the middle. So my view is our competition are these larger societal forces, not whether there's a university, closer than I'd like it to be back when I was president of Clarion. So that's the kind of thing. Our point is to be relevant and to provide value. Now, do I wish that in a way we were back in 1983 when the state paid 2/3 of the cost to operate a university and the student paid 1/3? Well, sure. And am I going to make the case that the $73 million increase we've asked for should be funded? Yes. Would I like the state to meet the students 50-50 maybe? Yes. But the competition isn't in these universities. The competition are these larger issues.
And I appreciate that, and I think we'll have a little bit further conversation in the future about that, but we are out of time.
Would appreciate that, sir. Thank you.